he was also a highwayman. Now his story got mixed up with a man by the name of Bob the Robber, and this Bob the Robber was a local man here that was also a highwayman who was hung on Stephen's Green in the late 18th century. I think it was 1793 or something like that. So the two stories became intertwined, and this is the story of Cockahoof as was told by, I think it was Mary McAvoy, would have been Mary Valerie, that would have told the story to Father Canfield for his parish newsletter. So this, the lyrics of this are based on that version of the story of Cockahoof. But the robber was a gentleman, so the story goes. A highwayman from Ballynock came in the finest clothes. He shot his horse in reverse to cover up his trail, and so they called the Cockahoof, the legend he began. One evening at a husband's in the village of the stone, he danced the jiggy tunes and left the house alone, and made his way by horseback to the borders of Carlow, where he went to rob and steal like many a time before. Thunderbolt and lightning and a highwayman went by. Cockahoof, Cockahoof, the day before July. He came upon the manor house in the black of nights, where all the doors and windows were locked and seals so tight. He climbed upon the ladder and smashed the pane of glass, demanded to the lady for all her gold to pass. She went to hand it over, took his arm down on the lath. He fell back from the window and lay wounded on the grass, and wrapped the scarf around his arm and rode into the night, and back to Ballynocken before the morning light. Thunderbolt and lightning and a highwayman went by. Cockahoof, Cockahoof, the day before July. The lady of the manor called the forces of the town, and then there were rumours heard around the town. The law closed in off for an ambush at one end, and where he was arrested to the jail as he was sent. They saw the wound on his arm, and there they had the proof. They sentenced him to hang, and that was the end for Cockahoof. On his way to the gallows, he declared he gave his gold. Whoever found his bank would never want again his home. Thunderbolt, lightning, and the highwayman went by. Cockahoof, Cockahoof, the day before July. So the Cockahoof legend, told by the firesides for many, many a year. And also, when the quarrymen were working up here, they worked long, hard days, but they formed a brass band, and that's how they entertained themselves in the evenings after the long, hard days of work. The Ballynocken Brass Band were one of the most successful brass bands to come out of Ireland in the late 19th century, early 20th century. So much so that on the 25th anniversary of the 1916 Rising in 1941, as they marched up O'Connell Street on their way up to Glasnevin Cemetery, the Ballynocken Band held top position after the IRA band as they made their way up. So this is a song called the Ballynocken Band, and of course Ballynocken is well known for all its musicians, and the tradition still carries to this day. We have some new budding musicians down the back of the room here. They're going to make their debut performance tomorrow night. So that's the next generation, and their ancestors would have all been members of the Ballynocken Band, stonecutters here as well in the village. So this is called the Ballynocken Band. Ballynocken Band could be heard everywhere. Music in the mountains, music in the air. Back in the late 19th century, the Wicklow Hills was the place to be. The Ballynocken Band could be heard everywhere. Music in the mountains, music in the air. Day by day, they cut the rock, blew the brass when the work had stopped. the hall when the day was done. Tradition passed from father to son. Ballynockin' band could be heard everywhere. Music in the mountains, music in the air. Crowds go for miles to listen to the band. They were the pride of the quarry land. Down on a dance in the barns and a man stepping it around, rat-a-tat-tat. Ballynockin' band could be heard everywhere. Music in the mountains, music in the air. They entertained at the parish fair. Here, there, yonder, everywhere. The band that was born on the side of the hill. The legacy of music lingers still. Ballynockin' band could be heard everywhere. Music in the mountains, music in the air. Now in the 21st century, the Wicklow Hills is the place to be. The Ballynockin' bands can be heard everywhere. Music in the mountains, music in the air. Music in the mountains, music in the air. Music in the mountains, music in the air. So folks, there's going to be plenty of music this weekend. Last night